I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
All right, all you RYAO hooligans. We're out here running around like a bunch of fooligans. This is the RYAO Network Rockcast.
Yeah.
The show where we always ask the question, I'm alive and well, where am I? Check out our website at ryao.net. On the Contact Us page, you can send us a message. And also, at the top, select from any of our social media outlets. We for sure greatly appreciate all of our social media followers. We're here today, again, with our good friends Nick Sabat on sports.
What's up, bitches?
And Sticks Hooligan on weather.
Hey, all you pigs and piglets out there, how you doing tonight?
We always like to check and see what everyone is drinking. So, Nick, what is your social lubricant of choice today?
It is that time of year when the microbreweries start to bring back some of their holiday beers. And tonight I am holding a Sierra Nevada Celebration Fresh Hop IPA. Sierra Nevada's out of Chico, California. And the Celebration is a holiday brew that's coming in at 6.8% alcohol content.
No,
Thank you,
that's
Sierra Nevada.
That's illegal. That's illegal.
Sticks, what you got?
No money, no funny business around here these parts these days. This is from Four Hands Brewery in St. Louis, Mo, called Full Life. That's what I'm fucking living right now. Drinking this lager. Full Life, baby. But, okay, you're drinking something. I can see something over there across the studios. What are you drinking over there?
This pink can
what the
is
hell is
another
that?
one of the, it's a Mondlift Oktoberfest. Had it left over from the last podcast. From Wild Acre Brewing Company in Texas, coming in at a 5.7.
It's been a horse race all of a sudden. I didn't even look at my alky levels yet.
Sticks, can we go back to yours? What yours is? What's it called? First Power?
Full Life. That's a good name for a beer, too. God damn, that's not bad.
Full Life. And I'm sorry, who makes that?
Full Life, that is from Four Hands Brewery.
Four Hands. Gotcha.
And Four Hands is a pretty awesome little place.
I would be scared to call my brewery Four Hands because it's like, it's too close to foreskin.
Yeah.
I thought exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they tried that, and not a whole lot of people were visiting, so
well, I'd still be there. Well, guess what?
What?
The old Halloween show last week was a little late in posting.
Where the fuck is that thing?
Yeah, no, it's posted now, but we had posted it originally very briefly. And then kind of got a little chatter from the lawyers. It is just too darn scary for a podcast. So
and as we all know, lawyers run the world. So
yeah. So the legal team kind of gave us a little poo-poo on that, and yeah. So we had to go back and modify it. It's just too darn scary. Had to talk them into it, and finally they said, you know what? I think this is what you got, Sticks, from them as well. Is that what you got? They just said, go ahead, but we don't know what's going to happen after you post it.
Well, see, here was my understanding. I don't know if you remember Tom Petty put out his Full Moon Fever album, and he submitted to the record company. They said this album is not good. There are no hit singles on it. You're going to have to go back to the studio and redo stuff. He said, okay, fine. He sits on it for 6 months, goes back, turns in the exact same album to new people. They said, oh my God, Free Falling's on here, I Won't Back Down's on here, Running Down a Dream's on here. This is a hit album. So, assuming the lawyers aren't listening now, I understand that you tried to edit this episode down to be less scurry and gave up because there's no hiding the scariness of this.
It's just too scary.
Yeah, but you submitted the same thing to the lawyers and they went for it.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Just to be clear, this is Tom Petty and not Richard Petty. Of course, the famous NASCAR driver.
Two totally different people. Yeah.
Yeah,
Two totally different worlds.
Two different industries. Yep.
yeah. Richard Petty did not submit an album, but I would be interested in hearing that. That'd be pretty fucking kick-ass.
Yeah. If Richard Petty made an album, I think that would be very, very.
I bet you Tom Petty's probably driven a few stock cars in his life, though.
I think so. So point being is, whatever's out there, we're going to suffer the consequences no matter what happens. So
That's right.
So let me see. If can we pull a Tom Petty and then we'll just fire our legal team and hire someone else, and maybe they'll be like, yeah, let's they'll. It's already posted, so never mind.
Well, we didn't really fire him, but this is the first that they're hearing about us posting it. So,
and he's
boys,
off. He's off Craigslist too. So I mean, it's not like we've got a high-powered team.
Right. Second order of business today in the loose end category, we had been talking about the Addams Family soundtrack very briefly, and I think Styx mentioned something about we had thought maybe MC Hammer had done some songs for the newest Addams Family soundtrack.
Yeah,
ends up that was Snoop Dogg.
What?
So, and I think I had included a song from the Addams Family soundtrack on one of our previous Spotify lists. So anyway, just a little correction there.
Snoop Dogg did Addams Family. That is bizarre to me. I apologize to all my Snoop fans out there. I fucked up.
Well, it was good. I didn't know that either, so I just wanted to make that correction in case somebody gets a little snippety about it. You never know.
Yeah.
The other thing we were talking about was we were talking about Buckcherry possibly having the name Buckcherry.
Buckcherry.
That is totally off base. That is not even in the ballpark. Looked up a little bit of information about that.
About
Buckcherry? Yeah, Buckcherry was much better. Much better. Anyway, what?
Josh Todd, the lead singer.
Never trust a guy with two first names, by the way.
Well, all the country singers have two names, so Josh Todd could be a country singer, I guess. Be a little, again, two different worlds, same as Richard Petty and Tom Petty. Josh Todd and the country world would be about the same. 1995 to 1999, Josh Todd grew up in Anaheim Hills neighborhood of Anaheim, California, and later moved to Lake Forest, California, in case you wanted to know that. Early on, he fronted the Hollywood glam rock band Slamhound. He eventually met lead guitarist Keith Nelson through their tattoo artist Kevin Quinn. By the way, this is from Wikipedia, just so you know. The duo made a few demos before they joined bassist Jonathan Brightman and drummer Devin Glenn, calling themselves Sparrow. Sparrow began performing around the Hollywood club scene, receiving a strong local following due to their old school rock and roll vibe, and were signed to DreamWorks Records shortly after. The group changed its name to Buckcherry after receiving a cease and desist letter from a record label called Sparrow. Although the band's name is a spoonerism of the late Chuck Berry.
I was delayed.
The group said it was inspired by a drag
I was taking notes,
queen
okay? I'm the scriber today.
The group was inspired by a drag queen acquaintance of theirs named Buckcherry. So that's where that name comes from.
See, thank you for the clarification.
I knew it.
Now, I have to throw something in. Under these headphones that we're wearing, we also have earpieces to receive the latest updates, get news and stuff.
You get some? You're getting some?
I just got some
Secret
static
Service
on there about your last clarification there. Addams Family, MC Hammer did sing the Addams Groove in the Addams Family movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'd hate to stop, continue to correct here, but I was thinking the same thing. I can picture MC
You're saying
doing
there's a correction
something.
on the correction?
I'm saying that's based on
Man,
latest
this is getting
information on the
complicated.
earphones. Our earphones are going out to the fact checkers live, and we just got
This
some
is
information. But
And what was the name of the song that he did?
the Adams Groove is apparently the song.
Oh, okay.
But now there's.
Okay, well,
I'm gonna complicate things a little bit because I fact checked the
You
fact
son of a
checkers.
bitch.
Snoop Dogg. The headline I see on Google is Snoop Dogg is cousin It in the new Addams Family trailer. That's from last year. Is your mind blown yet? So maybe that's the Snoop Dogg connection. Addams Family. He is cousin It in some remake or something.
Wow.
Like I give a fuck.
Well, I didn't dig into that enough.
I'm waiting. Okay, I have just
And
heard.
I'm sort of glad I didn't.
Yeah, I'm taking the
We
earpiece
edit all
out.
that out, actually.
Let's start over. Hey, all you. Wait.
All right. So anyway, a little bit of clarification there.
Thank you.
And
Thank you,
then
Kay.
clarification on the clarification.
You're doing a good job keeping the world straight, Kay. You deserve a round of applause. Let's go.
But next time, let's just keep it just a little bit straighter. Ow! What?
Flatten that curve. What? I don't understand.
All right. I'm already a little that took a lot out of me, so let's take a quick station identification break. We'll be right back.
Already? You're listening to the RYAO Network Rockcast. Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're going to kick this next session off with a little bit of Foo talk. That's right, Foo talk. And we're talking Foo Fighters. And all of you mainstream Foo Fighter fans, such as myself, probably already know what I'm going to talk about. They just recently released a new track. It's called Shame, Shame.
What?
As far as I know, they debuted it on Saturday Night Live this past Saturday, which I think would have been November 7th. And while they were there, they also did Times Like These. And it was a pretty cool version. I'm going to talk about that briefly. It was just a really, really cool version, and it reminded me how versatile many of their songs are. And I would say over half of that song was kind of like this acoustic type of thing with Dave singing, and then just... and you saw the other band members there, so you knew it was going to erupt at some point. But then it just erupted, and it kicked ass like they normally do. But I really wanted to get your guys' take on this Shame, Shame song, and whether you thought it was a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Sticks, what are you thinking?
Ooh, where's that thumb? Where is my thumb? Uh-oh. Hold on.
Wait.
Get that thumb
Hold on. I need some Purell. No, that's terrible. Yeah. I couldn't do that very loudly. You know what? So I stayed up. I never watched SNL live anymore because
Me
why would you
neither.
have to?
Right.
But it was like one of those rare cases. I wanted to see what was going on, and I was not. It's slow, right?
Slow.
It's different. And I thought it was at first, it was like the Sky is a Neighborhood kind of song, like that kind of plotting slowness, I thought. And then it's like, well, I know Sky is a Neighborhood starts out kind of slow, and then all of a sudden you get the crowd, dun, dun, and you get the big chorus. I was like, oh, but wait, and there's female singers. Not that that's bad, but
Right.
you know, Motley Crue has done that, and GNR has done that, and all of a sudden it's like,
Right.
And they start singing it, and it's like, where's the chorus? It's like, at some point, like halfway through, like Dave does this, like, you know, he grits his teeth, and he starts hitting those 16th notes of da 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 da, and I'm thinking, here it comes, and all of a sudden, da da da, shame,
And then it
shame.
never comes.
And it's like, so I was kind of like staring at it. Now, that was my first impression, so I wasn't blown away. But I got to give him credit because I saw a little interview with Dave from earlier, like a few days ago. And it's that old thing. You know, it says their 10th album. And I've got a preconception of what I think a new Foo Fighters song should sound like. It should just tear down an arena.
Right, right.
And as soon as they break out a little bit and start doing a couple different rhythms and slow it down a little bit, do something that you didn't expect. At the same time, I guess the new album still has a bunch of arena rockers on it. It sounds like that's going to be the case. So I heard it on YouTube. It's so much better hearing it on the second time. So I need to give it a chance. So I wasn't being fair the first time, but it's a good song. It's just not there. It's not typical. Not typical at all.
Right on.
But Kay, you just heard it recently too.
Yeah, no, my first impression was it was slow. Of course, you're gonna think that's the first kind of thing, but then it's good. It's good, but that's I would agree. It's just kind of out of character. You expect that eruption into something harder at some point. So I was kind of like, it did sort of give me a little bit of blue balls because I was anticipating the crushing, everybody comes in and just crushes it. So, but it was good. It was good. And I agree. You just have to it's just something different. And I think that's fine.
Yeah, I agree with both of your assessments. And it was a good song, but it just lacked that wall of sound. And if that's your debut song off your album, I'm a little concerned about what the rest of the album's going to be. It's not life or death, right? Okay. But it was just missing that wall of sound for me. And kind of going back to their last album, their debut song was Run off of that. And it started out a little bit slower, similar to Sky as a Neighborhood as well. But then it turned into like this total head-banging type of song, right? And Foo Fighters have quite effectively used female backup singers in the past, especially on their last album. But just lacked that wall of sound. And then I did seek it out on YouTube. Typically not a fan of videos because then it puts in this, it kind of helps carve out your perception a little bit instead of kind of leaving it out there for you to figure out on its own. But I would say the video is much more effective than the song itself because the video just appears to be pretty deep, dark, and heavy, and you'll have to check it out, but it kind of defines the song as being something that you're carrying with you through your life, and should you be shameful for it, or should you not be shameful for it? But anyways, I think it'll grow on me. It's not going to be certainly not my favorite Foo song, but it's got potential. From what I've heard, I don't know what you guys have heard, that the album itself is going to come out sometime after the first of the year, probably January, February. And then there's also a little hubbub of the Foo Fighters potentially being the act at the Super Bowl in February.
Oh, wow.
So are they international type stars? I would have to say, hell yeah, they are. So it would be cool to see them on that international scene. But yeah, there we go with the Foo Fighters review on Shame Shame.
Now, I feel now. What was the second song they did on SNL?
Times Like These.
And I felt bad. So I stayed up to watch SNL, and college football was in double overtime at the time. And then following the local news, it's like, well, fuck me. I already watched this football game I don't give a shit about. And then the local news. So that's half an hour. Then you got to go through the SNL stuff to get to the song, and it's Shame, Shame. And I'm like, but I'm going to stick around for the second song. And by that point, I was a little tired. And so he started singing it's what?
No, I was going to say the same thing. It's like 12:30 at fucking night, and shame on me for not staying up because I didn't see any of it.
Right. Well, yeah. So I heard him play the beginning of that song. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh man, it's acoustic and it's him by himself. And I like that, but I was like flip it off. Cause this is not he's just going to sing a little ballad version. I didn't realize that they rocked it out the second half. So that's a surprise.
It was even after the second half. It was probably 3/4 way into the song and they just ripped us a new one with it. So yeah, it was good. So you have to
I got to go back.
That's posted on YouTube as well.
Definitely. Now, how are they going to pull off a Super Bowl? How is any band going to pull off Super Bowl this year? A performance like, you're used to like the thousands of screaming 20-year-olds with little, I don't know, light up vibrators or whatever they carry on the field with them. And
I don't know.
Screaming. It's like, is it 6 feet apart, I guess? So they're all kind of, it's going to be weird.
I don't know. I think everything's going to be resolved by then.
It's over.
No, it's not.
Totally
It's nowhere
joking.
close. But you know what I did reflect upon is that all of us, the three of us, were scheduled to go see the van tour with Foo Fighters in the springtime. And I think we've talked about this before, and then it was rescheduled for October, and it really made me miss having that experience with you knuckleheads, and just missing the whole live music piece entirely.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We will sing together again. It will happen. Things will look
The
good.
drunkenness, the memory loss.
Yeah, that's
Purging
Yes.
of Wabaritas or whatever they're called.
and the Fubaritas. And so when they start singing "Shame, Shame" in concert, that's our beer break. We will go off and say, "Boo! You suck! You suck! Play walk, play run."
It's just a baiting. It's just a
Walk
bait.
and run.
It's a taunting to try to make them, come back and say, oh, you don't like that? Well, here you go. It's a taunting. It's a baiting.
As a fan, I think it's perfectly acceptable for me to tell them that they're doing it all wrong.
They want to hear that.
He's a connoisseur of good food. Okay, we'll be right back in 1 second. Woo! First, there was rock. And now, there's RYAO. So join us each week on the RYAO Rockcast, where we talk about life, music, and more. From the silly to the serious, the profane to the profound. Never stop rocking. Okay, we're back from the...
Yep.
Sorry.
Oh, what's
Sorry.
wrong, dude?
You all right?
Bless you,
Man,
kazoo
there's
night.
a little bit of dust in here, isn't there? Like a...
Oh yeah,
Is that sawdust?
that's all. And you see what's going on in the corner, don't you?
Well, I hear the sounds back there, but what do you have people working for you back there?
I got
what are they
them back
building
there,
back
Sticks.
there?
I got a couple of my buddies came over. I'm building something for next week.
Yeah.
It's it's big.
Wait, is that the wheel?
That's
You're remounting the wheel?
the whole thing is being built from scratch. I did repurpose the wheel.
Wow.
You're
last
mounting
time.
the wheel?
I mounted the wheel before. I'm remounting it again. I've got.
No wonder we get an explicit
So
rating
we're
on
gonna
this
have
broadcast.
we're gonna have some wheel next on the next episode.
We are going to play some brand new Fuck, Marry, Kill revamped next week. It's coming back
right.
bigger, louder.
Huge.
It's 12 foot. It's going to be 12. It's only a couple feet now. I got to add on to it. It's going to be that
So
fucker's
it's
going to be
mobile.
monstrous. Price
It
is Right
was
wheel is
mobile.
only like 8
Yeah.
foot.
Yeah.
This is going to be
Okay,
like,
well,
this is going to be almost, it's going to be twice the size of a Price is Right wheel.
Because you brought the last one in your trunk last time. But this
Yeah,
one-
that's it's pretty small.
We
This
kind
is-
of
this is part of the structure
overextending.
of the studio, really.
Well, we're starting to make some money now on this podcast.
I'm
I think
wondering
we put the money right back into the show. That's the only way you can grow your business,
You reinvest.
I'm just wondering
yeah.
if that's kind of a little bit too big for the is that even to code? Anyway, we'll get to that later. But
It's a code.
we
Wheel
really
code?
want to. Then using you got to make sure that you follow the code on
Is that
it.
220 or
Nobody asked
221?
Bob Barker
Yeah.
what made code. Bob Barker never had to do the showcase showdown to bills based on code. Why
Hey,
did he
you
get away with
bastard.
it?
Bob Barker developed the code for wheels, okay, mister?
Exactly.
I wrote the
Barker.
goddamn codes. I'm Bob Barker.
Settle down, Mr. Barker.
I have to build them against myself. I have to come up with all the studios. I have to buy the products for people to guess the prices at. God damn it.
Barker's beauties were in there helping him. Everybody, it was all hands on deck.
Should we have some Barker's
these skirts
beauties?
aren't short enough.
It's got nothing to do with the wheel, but these skirts need to be shorter.
Rob Rowdy, turn down the lights on your suit. Anyway, I think that we wanted to of course, before we did our Halloween episode, we had the sad news about Eddie Van Halen, and so I think let Sticks sort of lead that conversation a little bit. Eddie was pretty much a fixture for us all, but especially for Sticks.
Friend of the show.
I mean, I'm a guitar player, but I think you have a lot more to say about Eddie than.
Well, I think the thing is, once somebody dies like that, and it's somebody who's, you just think of all the people who've like Prince or Michael Jackson, people who just kind of set the bar, and so many people have imitated them since, and you kind of don't forget. Right. And I think with Eddie too, it was I went back to I didn't listen to Eruption or something because I was like got the news, and you just start kind of reflecting on what they did, what bar they set, and he set the bar so fucking high. So fucking high. The people are still imitating him and to doing stuff. And I think it really hit me when I think David Lee Roth posted a photo of them backstage with their arms around each other, like, see you on the other side. And it's like, it's so cool. And then Sammy later on said, because they weren't obviously getting along for a long time. And I think Sammy had this vision that they would all get together maybe and do like a mega reunion, David together, Sammy, bring Gary Sharon for one song. Who knows what might happen, but
and then that one guy, the fourth guy, who was the fourth guy?
Mitch. So the thing is, so I never saw Eddie
as Waterboy, Mitch.
yeah.
Mitch Malloy, the water boy.
How could we turn this into comedy? I'm not sure, but we just did.
Oh, it's not. Get over here. I need a little bit of water.
Where's that Mitch at? Where's that little Mitch?
And then as soon as he brings the water bottle and they say, no, we don't need it. Get the fuck out.
They give him an atomic wedgie.
Yeah. Gang up on him, guys. Yeah, this is not a eulogy, but I mean, there's nothing sad going on here, by the way.
Well, I'll tell you what I did. I don't want to steal away your conversation.
No.
I kind of had to have a little. I wasn't expecting it to affect me so much, and it did.
Why do you think?
Not to the point where I was really sobbing or anything, but it's a part of your history. It's a part of your sort of your recent history that's gone, and it's a little shocking. And I went back and listened to the their live performance. What was the name of that? I found it on YouTube, but where they were Sammy and
was it Live Without a Net? That's exactly what I was gonna bring up. The exact same thing.
It was really therapeutic for me. It made me feel better, to listen to it and watch it.
That's funny that you picked that same concert because guy's been around and done a lot of stuff, but for some reason there was something in that thing, and I looked up their ages, by the way, and like Eddie was 31 or 32 at the time. Right. Sammy was 39, so he was definitely the old guy in the group. And you can have the Sammy versus Dave days and all that stuff, but the consistent sound, of course, was Eddie. And the talent, just watching that show, the energy, the party atmosphere, the gangster, they looked like they were having a ball. But Eddie just looked like it was just so natural to him that he could just, it was just, the guitar was like a fifth part of it, like a part of his body or something like that. It was weird, but so where were you? Where were you? Sorry.
So
when you heard the news,
I mean, I necessarily wasn't on vacation, but I was not at home, and I think I saw it on social media, and certainly, you take a step backwards and you reflect, and when it comes down to it, now Eddie was a fan of the show, but typically we don't know these people from a hole in the wall, right? And so we don't really know them. We don't know their ins and outs. Sure. We just have this perception of what we've developed of them. And I think we all reflect back and just think, did we grow up with the guy? Well, yeah, kinda. Because we listened to a lot of that music. And it was really probably only a week ago when I was something came on. I think it was Jamie's Crying came on my phone when I was driving around, and it's a great song. But I started to reflect about what are some iconic type of sounds that he has made through his music. And shortly after that, Summer Nights came on, and that whole guitar riff was just unparalleled. But then, you start to dig deeper, and it's just, who else has used a drill on a guitar with the opening of Pound Cake? And it seems so simple that that should have been done decades ago, but it wasn't.
Right.
He did it. And that sound just kind of drives you up a wall in a good way. And then even going back further than that with Cathedral, I remember on the OU812 tour, and that was the first time that I heard Cathedral in the live, and just that whole sound, very simply made, but just so effective. I mean, who else would think of that? And who else has even tried to mimic that? But it's a really, what appears to be a simple technique. I mean, to some extent, not to everything that he did technically on that solo. And I'm not really a guitar solo type of guy, especially when they last 10 minutes or more. But the whole Cathedral thing is just it just blows your mind. I mean, you could just kind of envision these bells at a cathedral going off, and that's exactly how it would sound. So, I mean, I wouldn't even say like really cool songs. Those sounds themselves are just iconic in and of themselves. And that's what I think about when I think about Eddie Van Halen.
His whole style was just, there's no way to recreate that. Just the whole concept of how they put together rock songs that just kicked your ass. And I saw an interview with him. I don't even know how old that was. It wasn't from very long ago. And, Eddie understandably had some arrogance to him, and there was a lot of bad blood between different members of the group and all that. But I mean, you let that all kind of go by the wayside and just say, what did these people contribute? What did it, you look back and all the stuff that they contributed, and it's just like all the personality stuff just sort of goes away, and you just take it for what it is for you,
Yeah.
But, it affected me more than I thought. At first I was like, I knew he was going to die and whatever. And we knew that was going to happen. And then it was like, wow, you start to think about it. Like, that's a little bit of your history is gone. It can't be recreated.
Yeah, right.
That's well said. Well said. And Nick, it's interesting that, because I think I've played, or, Eruption's been on the radio when my kids have been in the car. And it's almost like, since everybody can do that, not everybody, I'm not a guitar player, it would be hard for me to even make a note. But the fact that everybody can do the finger tapping on the fretboard, everybody, like a 6-year-old can now imitate Eruption note for note, and you're like, wow. But it's not, but it does why they're imitating, they're not creating. And that Cathedral, so the Eruption stuff, people can imitate. Who's imitating the Cathedral sounds, or who's doing the guitar from Finish What You Started, which doesn't sound like anything that he ever did. It sounds like flat picking country. He can do that. He can make elephant noises. He can do drills. He can do all this stuff, and that's the loss of like what was next. Because he had one thing left in him before he was off this planet and it might still exist. It might be on some tape that he made in the studio. We might still hear it years from now. So there's the hope there. But yeah. So I've got a question then. So what's the one song you would pick out?
So see, that's where I'm stuck. And so I rattled off Pound Cake, Summer Nights, Cathedral. And that's the exercise that I was trying to put myself through, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't come up with one song, one sound, and that's just really a testament to how effective of a guitar player he was, how iconic he was, how creative he was. And when I say simplistic, I don't mean that anybody could do it. because not everybody could do it, but he could. And he
Yeah.
continued to come through time and time again for decades.
Yeah.
Right.
Not a couple years, not an album, for fucking decades. So I can't pick one song. I refuse to pick one song.
Right.
I refuse to play in this game,
I put,
Sticks. Double K.
I put
Put the middle fingers down. Fuck. It's not that serious.
I put like on the Spotify list, I put Jump because Jump was probably one of the first songs I heard from Van Halen, and then I backed into their older stuff from that. And then when Sammy came aboard, I know there's a lot of people who would probably say, and I know I'm going to get a lot of emails talking about how Sammy, Van Hagar and all that crap, but I love it all. I mean, I like the Dave stuff, and then I also like the Sammy stuff too.
Wow!
It's just all one big thing, but just a different version of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I liked Why Can't This Be Love? Just
You can't pick one, can you? You just can't
yeah,
pick
there's
one. Nope.
I mean, Eddie was a very good keyboard player as well, piano player.
Yeah.
He did a lot of just what was the album they did with he played a lot of just piano and created a lot of stuff in that realm as well, in addition to guitar. So
I think it was a Christmas album, wasn't it? Like Eddie smoking on piano or something like that. No, Sticks.
I'm
What's
hot
your
for Santa.
what?
I'm hot for Santa.
Sticks, do you have a song, like a single song? So like Kay and I went down this laundry list of things because we couldn't isolate one.
I refuse to play this game, Nick. I will not be. No. The thing that when you guys are talking, I suddenly thought of Spanish.
Balance.
I think
Balance was the name of the album. I just got that in my headpiece.
Oh, that's the one with the Siamese twins on the front. That's
the fact checkers are feeding you info. And I'm not familiar with that stuff.
Eddie also destroyed a piano during one of those songs on Balance, and then he played. What was the name of that song? Here, let's see.
Oh, yeah, like he was dropping things on piano strings to make these
Strung Out. I mean, he did a song called. They had a track called Strung Out.
Yep.
That was basically him tearing apart a piano and sawing it apart, and then they went into a song called Not Enough, which is a keyboard piece, and it's just like
It's a love song.
It's just crazy cool.
Yeah, so that
I never heard that.
That's really cool. It's something cool to check out. I wouldn't say it sticks out for me as being one of those iconic sounds. But yeah, that was his creative piece on that Balance album.
It's the same album where Nick and I really get off on the double bass drum on Amsterdam.
Oh,
yeah. So
I think I just had a little
anyway,
accident
we
thinking
could
about
go on for a long time about Van Halen and.
Well, Styx hasn't chosen his single song, sound.
I think he's refusing though, isn't he?
No. The one that I forgot about was off Van Halen 2, and that was I think it was Spanish Fly, wasn't it? That was the Spanish guitar, or the flamenco thing. And I think after the iconic Eruption stuff, you've got to think, well, for the second album, I'm going to do something crazy. I'll play two guitars at one time. I'll play it with my teeth. It's like, no, fuck you. I'm going to acoustic. It's like, how fucking, that took some balls to say I'm switching it up.
Mammoth
So
balls.
let's throw Mammoth Balls. That was the name of his first band. So I think we should throw Spanish Fly up on the playlist at the risk of making it an all Van Halen playlist. But where can we find the Spotify playlist to take us out, Kay? How's that for a segue?
Nice.
Well,
Nicely
we
done.
will we'll have a little. We'll make most of our songs on this playlist Van Halen, I think, because this is the time to do it. But they can go and create a little account on Spotify for free, and you can listen to all of our playlists as always.
When Iron Mike passes away, we won't be doing this. That's
Just click on the link that you see in the show notes.
Mona.
I guess we
Mona.
I guess we won't get him as a guest.
Yeah, we're so fucked. We're just every detour we take, we wind up at a dead end. We're just gonna fuck with everybody.
Eddie was scheduled for January 3rd too, wasn't he, to be on the show?
Yeah, he was
Son
gonna
of
come
a
out
bitch.
of retirement.
After Michael Anthony.
We were gonna surprise Eddie with a reunion with Mikey and Sam on our show.
They were scheduled for the same day.
Oh, God bless. See, that's why you got to embrace stuff now. We got to take care of this stuff now. We can't wait.
Yeah. Maybe it's a good thing that all this has happened the way it has, because we would have had them double booked.
I think I've had too many beers. I apologize. I'll remain silent. Okay, take us out.
Take us out, Kay. Come on, salvage
Save
this.
us.
Well, just as a reminder that we are, one of my personal dreams is to have Mona Nader on our program, who is, or was, I don't know what she's doing now, but she was the bassist for the Wabaritas, for Sammy's Wabaritas. So, again, Mona, if you're out there, we love you. Love is a pretty strong word. We
like
really
to get,
like
we
you.
want to get to know you first, and then one of us is going to marry
like
you.
to get to know you.
I'm staying silent.
Yeah.
Some of us may have to get divorced, and then we will marry you. But the paperwork is ready. Just have to sign it, baby. And that's how we end our Eddie tribute. By asking for Mona's hand in marriage.
The paperwork is ready. Wow.
Yeah, our Craigslist lawyers have drawn it up in and around the Dr. Ghost episode. Holy fuck.
Because they knew what was coming.
Okay.
They have a vision.
All right. Well,
our attorneys always have a vision.
thank you
We
everyone
better
for joining us
Start
today.
crafting this paperwork.
Check out our website at ryao.net. Get on any of the social media platforms found on the top
doggies.
Contact Us page. Give us some feedback. Let us know some things you'd like us to talk about.
Today it's divorce papers.
Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Tell us what you're wearing. We love the feedback. So we will see you next week.
See ya.
And go blow yourselves for sure.
For sure.
And never
For
stop
sure.
rocking.
Never.
Woo!